Okay. What's up? What's up? What's up? It looks like we're live. Give me a minute. See, give me a minute. Let me make sure that we are live. As it says over here that I'm live, but I want to be able to check it out over here. So I see the image. There, there's the image. Okay. Can you tell me a few words, Seek, so I can test this?
Hello, Bernardo. How's it going on this beautiful evening? Can you hear me? One, two, check, check, three, one. I'm gonna start singing. Is my mask not letting you hear me
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I got you, Seek. We're coming through. Okay, we're coming through. All right, we're coming through. We're coming through. Okay. So the audio is in good. What's up, Seek? How you feeling, bro?
I'm great, great, great.
Where you
Every
at
day
now?
I am in the 305.
305. That's what's up, Miami.
Yep.
How you, how you doing,
See
bro?
the.
How you feeling? How you feeling, bro?
I feel like $1,000,000. Every day is a gift, and we're all good.
How
You
is it?
got.
How is that the treatment coming along with you? And
I got zero side effects, and
you're good.
um, we're amazing the doctors, and they don't know what to say.
That's good, bro. I'm happy for you and the fam, and you're strong man, and you strong over here. Look, you and the wife spiritually strong, especially spiritual strong. Because whenever someone is fighting a clinical war, you have to be very spiritually strong. You
Yep.
know.
We're
Seek.
doing what we got to do.
Okay, so here's the reason why well, first of all, I call a bunch of promoters and people in the freestyle business and genre and executive, and not a lot of people come through, but I know you come through. You know, you always come through. You're one of those person that ain't got nothing to hide when it comes to you know.
Nope. And you shared our recent flyers for our event, so I always told you that one day I'm going to come on and give you some time. So here we go.
Yeah. Okay, see, here's the freestyle crisis of the day. Okay, because it's been going on in my page for a couple of days now. So I'm receiving this video of Cynthia. Okay, so she's singing, and then I received one time. I'm like, okay, someone sent me a video of Cynthia, and then another one. So the same video from another person. So I start doing my investigation. So I come up with that. This is not an old video of Cynthia. This is a right now video of Cynthia with the coronavirus going on. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a suddenly, more messages from this particular video, and then that's when I really found out what happened here. That there's some people with coronavirus because of this particular event. And then in there somewhere I saw the name Seek, so that's why I said, did let me ask Seek something. Seek, did you make this particular event with Cynthia? Is this your event?
No, I didn't. A lot of people ask me that as well. Um, the particular promoter likes to follow my footsteps and pretend to be me, just to gather more fans and more fan base. But no, this particular event was not mine.
Who would make a freestyle event in a little club like this? In a moment of coronavirus, who would do something like that? What are we thinking?
Well, well, let me first say that I don't think Cynthia did anything wrong. So let's not blame Cynthia for performing. She was, she's an artist. She was given a job. She was paid for a job, and it's the it's the it's the promoter's responsibility to keep the artist safe and to keep the fans safe. So before we go off and say, look at what Cynthia did, ooh, Cynthia's performing at a club, look at Cynthia, that's recent and during the coronavirus. Cynthia works as a freestyle artist, and she got called into work, and her bosses um, have the responsibility to pay for her. That's why we get insurance at the venues, and that's why we pick them up at the airport to make sure that they're safe when we get them to their hotel, their destination. So I don't think we should point fingers at Cynthia for performing during a coronavirus event, especially if the state mandates that they can perform and there's no rules against it. Then she's perfectly fine doing her job. I wasn't there. I don't know what actually happened. Maybe you can enlighten us and what messages did you get? Because it wasn't my event, but I don't want to blame Cynthia for working because that's she has a job, and so
Who,
what
so
exactly are
who
you
okay,
asking?
okay. Who's Cynthia's manager? What I want to know is I want to know like I still don't know who's the name who did this event. So you didn't do it. Is this a like a Frankie Cutlass event? Is this who made this event?
No, she's a part of the Frankie Cutlass music group, which just basically gives him clout to put his name on a flyer. But that wasn't his event. Sal Batello is actually her manager, but let's not point fingers at Sal either because Sal's only position in this is to answer the phone as Cynthia's manager, and they say we have a job for Cynthia, and they take it and they sign the contract, and he manages it, and he wasn't at the venue. It's the promoter and investors' responsibility to
Right.
do it. So Sal did his part by booking her, and Cynthia did her part by performing. So I wouldn't blame anything on Fever Records or Sal in particular because they did their job,
Right.
and everybody it takes a village to run a show, and everybody needs to do their job. So, can you let us know what exactly you're talking about? Because I get a lot of questions about is this my show or are we getting refunds because of coronavirus? Um, I know that Cynthia performed recently, but the state that she was in they allowed it with reduced seating, so I don't see what the problem is
The
if
state.
she performed and it was allowed.
Okay, yeah, because for example, I'm watching the whole thing from a Florida point of view right at this particular moment, and we don't want to have any kind of freestyle celebrations right here. Don't
Well, if
no
if they allowed it and it's open air, for example,
open it.
there was a beach party or a Fourth of July beach bash by another artist, and it was in the open air by their pool, and it was open air, so that was fine.
Sure.
If they allowed it a closed venue here in Florida, in Miami, in particular, and they said we could run it at capacity of 50 people, let's say, then it would be at the promoter investors' responsibility to make sure that the venue was safe for the artist, was safe for the fans, and that the capacity didn't get oversold and it didn't go over the limit. So wherever Cynthia, and I'm sorry to say her name all the time, but you brought it up, but wherever Cynthia was performing, they had to have state statute of how much percentage they could sell and what they did. So it would be up to the promoter to follow those rules, not the artist. The artist is being paid for the job to do, and she's expecting the
I,
promoter
I saw
to
an
care
yeah,
for her.
I saw a name of a promoter though the name Kelly. I'm not
I
quite sure
think
what
she's
the last name is.
I think she's hired help. If you're referring to the show in Indiana, I think that's where it was outside of Chicago. Then yeah, that was her show. I don't want to give her any more shine. She's just hired help, a W-9 employee. She doesn't really, she's not she's not the money. So she's hired help basically. But if she's the promoter and she's the face of whatever event, then it would be her or his responsibility to make sure that the artist is safe coming from the airport to the hotel. That's why we pick them up from the hotel. We pick them up from the airport, and we take them back and forth. So it's their responsibility to make sure the artists are safe. It's their responsibility to make sure their fans are safe. That's why we purchase insurance at large venues and arenas. I'm not sure how she does it at the little dive bars that she does, but
So
um,
we have some people confirmed with coronavirus because of this particular freestyle celebration, this freestyle night.
I don't know of anybody that has coronavirus from there. Can you tell me what you know? Because I don't know anybody with coronavirus from that particular
From
event.
those messages, they say that some people there was coronavirus. Some people there was an ambulance outside. There was something happened in this particular show that it was not safe. It was not safe. That's what.
Well, if the promoter followed the guidelines of the state that they were in and they were under capacity, then more power to them for keeping freestyle alive. I just don't understand about the coronavirus part because I've never heard that. I've only heard that there was a bunch of people there and they had a good time. But if we were allowed to have it in Miami, then I would say let's do it too. But the responsibility would be on me to make sure that everybody was safe. So
Okay.
let's just say, for
Okay. See,
example,
let
hold
me
on.
ask you. Let me stop you there for a second. Let me ask you, for example, when do you think is gonna be your next event? Like, considering all this pandemic stuff, when do you consider, or where, what are you thinking? Where, when is your
Well,
next event?
well, we put the health and safety of the fans first and the artists first. We make sure that the fans are safe. We make sure that the artists are safe. And right now, we went virtual. Basically, we did the George Lamont Unplugged virtual show, which was successful. We did Tim's birthday party, which was successful. And we also did one this past Monday, the 4th of July celebration USA, the Freestyle USA, which was also successful. So we've did a few virtual events that were successful, and there was no coronavirus that was passed or anything because it was virtual. But let me just say this: if I were able to do an event, let's say we were out here in the open air, and they allowed me to do it,
In the
would I
open?
do? Would I do it? Um, I'd not. I would be on the fence about it if I would do it. But if I did it, I would make sure their temperatures are taken. I would make sure that if anybody got sick, and here's the key: if anybody got sick at one of my events, I'm liable for that. So that's why we have insurance in place. So if somebody got sick and they didn't sign a waiver, if you come in here, you're going to contract coronavirus, then the waivers need to be signed. If not, the promoter and the investor would be liable for that. I'm not sure what type of insurance they
See,
have because
see, let me stop you there for a second because I have not read not even one comment. So here's a guy says, define successful.
define successful.
Yes,
Is he saying that towards my comment for the virtual show?
yes.
It was successful in terms of production. It was successful in terms of teamwork between different entities that came together. And it was successful in terms of numbers with the sales of ticket sales. Ticket sales were great, um, considering that it was virtual, and the artists needed to get paid because that's how they eat. So it's, for example, the show you're talking about, that's how that artist maybe pays her rent. So she needs to work. So let's not stop them from working. No matter who is the promoter, let's support whatever show that's going out there. But the promoter needs to be more responsible, whoever it may be, about getting the artist, making sure the artist is safe, and making sure that the fans are safe. And if they're not, then that's on the promoter's fault, not the artist, because that they're the ones in charge of the event. Also, I would want to add on here that if if I had an event during the coronavirus and the coronavirus season or whatever we call it, and somebody got sick, then it would be my responsibility to also let everybody there that attended let them know that hey, somebody was contracted coronavirus. Was at the club. You probably need to get tested. I'm not. I was not at the event. I've never even heard about coronavirus. Um, I'm on here to try to let you know about the business and see if what I would do about having an event. Um, a lot of police out here tonight, and that's what I'm here. So I don't really know who got coronavirus, if they did, if they didn't, um, or where the information you're getting it from. But I don't think the event should be stopped or nobody should stop working because that's their way. That's the way that's how they live and that's how they survive. But sometimes promoters, which are W-9 and promoters that just want to be popular, I like to call them freestyle
Okay.
famous.
Okay.
They don't care.
Seek, give me a second. I just posted right here the hotline. If people want to come through and talk about this particular one, you know,
I'm not sure about what coronavirus that you're talking about though either. So um, I don't know about that. I've never heard of who got coronavirus, who
yeah.
didn't, because
Well,
that's pretty serious if somebody
here,
did.
here's my. So okay, so you don't have one of them crazy platforms over here in Facebook, and it's very popular for the freestyle fans. So it's a ton of messages on a daily basis. I read messages and I have to read them and read them and read them. Rocking the merchandise. Yo, where we get
Right.
the merchandise? Yo,
This is
what's
my
up?
own. This is my own special
That's
cut
your
because I
stuff?
don't got sleeves. I don't got sleeves, and I got a V-neck.
Where do we order
Courtesy of
them? You're gonna you
Courtesy of Castile Empire, they hooked us up with the good merchandise.
Yeah. Okay, people. The number I put the number right here. 212 and 9001. Okay,
But I,
so
but
people message.
I don't know about the coronavirus what you're talking about. So if you want to bring me up to speed about who said what or what said who or if
In the
anybody
messages,
what
in the messages in there, allegedly, there's some people that got infected in that particular club, allegedly. Because it's messages to come through, and that's when it captured my attention, and that's when I went like crazy because, like, who would right now who will make a concert in an enclosed club? Because, for example, I know we can do it like in parks. Like I will go. Like if you make a freestyle celebration in Miami, I will go in a park, but not right now. Not a club. I wouldn't go to a club. Not
well if I had
not
a
in this
club
month.
but if I had a club and the city allowed it and I was able to keep social distancing in place and we were able to do all the due diligence before, then I don't see why it would be a problem not to have it. But we need to abide by the law
Well,
and to
I
do
mean,
it.
this would be like if you wanted to, for example, if I wanted to go, like if me, I'm really paranoid. I am really paranoid, and not only that, I'm paranoid, but it's getting closer to me. I already know people in my area, you know, that has the coronavirus. So that's when I get really scared. So right at this particular moment, this particular month, right here, right now, in my city where I live, I, I I wouldn't go. That doesn't mean that other people can't go, but I wouldn't
But
go. I
we're the epic,
myself.
but we're the epic center here in Florida, so it's different
Exactly.
here than in New York. New
Exactly.
York's already went
We're
through
really
that.
bugging out.
Right. Texas is shutting down. Florida shutting down. New York, they did their whatever they had to do, and they're in their phases. So,
Hold on, let me see.
um,
Just rumors. I haven't heard anything. Prove it. Just rumors. I haven't heard anything.
well, why don't you read what you wrote, what who sent you what, and then
A,
we can all know what you're talking
a
about.
few people. I got every day over here. I get a tons of messages, and most of them they want to remain anonymous. Most of them. So for sure, I got the Cynthia video over here. A bunch of videos from different people. I'm like, okay, so that's Cynthia. Thank you, because people do that. They send me all kinds of video, you know. So in one of them, that's when I called you. I'm like, yo, seek, and then I put all of it together. Said somebody got the coronavirus, and then I'm like, oh, whoa, wait a second. So there was a show. Cynthia was invited to a show. There was a show done, and then that's when I saw this particular message say someone got coronavirus out of this show. Not only someone, they say a few people out of this particular show. So
Well,
that's mhm.
why don't you read the message and who it was from, so we can know, so it's not just a rumor, and we're not just saying that just to say it because
Look. We have
I've not.
we have Frank Garcia here. It says my daughter's sitter, her daughter and granddaughter have it. Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, every Rocky Ramos, Spanish Fly,
Hi, Blessed.
he has it. He's fighting
I
it.
had to postpone my Miami vacation. Yeah, over here. That's why. I that's what I'm bringing this news right now because I'm watching what's going on over here in Florida, and yeah, we're not doing good at all. You know what I'm saying? Like for
No,
now, this particular month, I don't know what's gonna happen next month, but this particular month, we're not. It's not. We're not right. So, and then I saw your name in here involved. Like I saw your name, Seek, and I'm like, okay, go. Let me talk to Seek. Let's clear this one up. So that's why I call you. Let's clear it up.
well,
Let's
let's clear something else up
okay.
while we're on the phone. So there's a freestyle show in Texas. There's a particular W9 and promoter who finds investors to make herself freestyle famous, and she likes to go to the same venue that I go um, to pretend that that it's me. I love freestyle music tour, often imitated or never duplicated. And so in Texas, she went. More power to her. Keep freestyle alive. But it looks like one of my shows because it's at the same venue I was just at, and it's not like she can't go to that venue, but have a little originality to it. But in freestyle, we don't really have too much originality. But anyway, the point is, um, long story short, when coronavirus happened, events got canceled. When events get canceled, you should refund. the fans. Last year, there was a health situation with me, and I had a couple shows which I had to cancel, and everybody was like, "Oh, I canceled another show." Well, my personal business I didn't put out there. It was a health issue. Basically, doctors diagnosed me with stage 4 cancer, which is uncurable. So I didn't want to deal with the freestyle drama, and so I canceled the events, um, one of which were in Chicago, and everybody was refunded. And when it's a health condition, whether it's coronavirus or cancer, you got to put your health first. And right now, it's the United States and the fans. We have to put their health first.
Yes, sir.
So, people like to say, "Oh, you shouldn't have canceled. I wouldn't have canceled." But you see the integrity of the people that of promoters of who won't cancel. It's not when it's not their money, then they don't have to take a loss, and they just want to become freestyle famous. You can do the numbers, and you can see the capacity at a place. If it's 250 people at a club and they're charging $20, you can do the numbers. There's no money to be made, and the artist, I mean, not the artist, but the promoter wants to be freestyle famous. So there's a show in Texas that was canceled. It was May 30th in San Antonio, and it looked like my show. And we do shows in San Antonio all the time. And I keep getting messages saying, "When am I getting my refund? When am I getting my refund?" And I tell them it's not my show, and they're not getting any luck with getting the refund. So
Seek, let me stop you right there. Okay, you say it looks like your show. What does that mean? What's going on? Why would is somebody's doing a show that looks like yours? What,
well, it's like you have a crisis center.
okay,
Um, if somebody else came along and have a freestyle crisis center, then they're basically biting off of you and taking what you created and going to making it look like their own to make it look like it's their show. And if they call it the crisis center part one and add something to it, then it's going to look like you.
right,
And it's basically deceiving the fans. You know how, and this is a dead issue that I don't really want to bring up, but when you have an artist that isn't really the artist and you're promoting them to sing a song that's not theirs, then you're deceiving the fans. But that's a whole different topic.
right.
So when it looks like your show, they use this. They basically try to mimic the show, and so the fans will say, "Oh, I Love Freestyle Music Tour is doing it again. They did a great show last time. Let's go do it again." Instead of that person going to find their own venue, and you know they got they got something good going in Chicago, and they can't think outside the box. Um, but it keeps freestyle alive. So more power to them, because if they're not going to do it, then who is? So when we canceled our shows, everybody got refunded, and the show in San Antonio, which is not ours, the fans are asking daily, where's our refunds? Where's our refunds? And they're not getting their refunds. So I don't see a big hoopla about where their refunds are, like it was when I canceled mine, and that was like the hot
Seek,
topic of the day.
let me
Where's
ask
their
you,
refunds?
Seek, let me ask you a question because this one I don't know. What I'm about to tell you, I think I have a clue, but I don't really know because there's a lot of stuff in here that I don't know, especially when it has to do with like shows in that are not in New York or Florida or Cali. They're is is there a name to this particular group? Anyone that I can call? I want to be able to call this people, see if someone can answer the phone and come over here to my platform and give us an interview. Can you give me a one name of someone that I can contact who is mimicking your your movement?
Well,
Someone.
if I did that, that would give them free promotion. And unlike what they do to me and say that I don't have cancer and it's fake, and they say that they
I'll
have
investigate.
proof,
I'll
I'm
investigate.
not I'm not going to give them your name. But
I'll investigate.
I just got a text that I seen come through, and somebody says that this is what they're talking about with coronavirus. It looks like there's a post from Eddie the Mouse. Is that the same post you're talking about? Somebody sent me a screenshot of it.
Yeah, yeah. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said let me do this crisis center emergency meeting with the gang. We got a whole bunch of our people. They come through. They like to watch. They like to hear. They like to. they like to know the latest info,
Well,
on what's going on
why
in
don't
the community.
it was a pretty lengthy text. Why don't you go ahead and read it so that we're all on the same page
I
with
can't
it?
read it. I can't read it from here. I would have to do like, I can't read it from
Oh,
here. You don't.
okay, well, just give us a brief overview of what it is, because I just got a text from a screenshot of it, and it says this is what he's talking about. It's from Eddie the Mouse, talking about what you're saying about the coronavirus. So if anybody could answer the question that you're asking, he wrote the post.
Okay,
He
okay, okay. No, I'll go in there and I'll find a name. And what I'm gonna do is
well,
I'm gonna try. Mhm.
I just gave you a name. Eddie sent wrote the post. It got like almost 200 shares on it, so and it's got like 300 comments I see.
That's the one that I have
And
in my page. I
right,
share this one.
so he wrote the post, so he would be able to answer the question that I would only speculate. He would be able to answer um, of who had coronavirus and who didn't. Um, I did see on there that he's mentioned a punk DJ promoter. Um, there's a few of them in Chicago, um, but when you confront them, I went live the other day. I don't know if you guys seen it on Thursday when I was in Chicago. There was this particular DJ that
I
claims that
saw.
he has. Yeah, he says he has my medical records that I'm trying to, and I'm not going to mention his name because that's just only going to make him famous. So he basically said he has my medical records and he's going to prove that I don't have cancer, which I wish I didn't. And he was performing at a club, so I show up. Why not? You called me the Sugar Freestyle, so I guess I got to live up to the
Suge
name.
Knight, Suge Knight.
Yeah, right. So then I show up, and this guy backpedals and apologizes and says he shouldn't have said that. And okay, apology accepted. Whatever. I'm not going to fight somebody over some information somebody gave him. It was more to cause division in freestyle. And right now, there's too much division in freestyle. Um, so if the DJ was misinformed and now he knows that I was going to make him famous, he backpedaled. Um, but Eddie would be the right person for you to talk to about that because he wrote the post
Okay, I'm
and
gonna
he would know.
see that. Who posted? Eddie. What's the name of the person? It's in my a lady named DMP Gonzalez. She's here. A few comments from her. I also shared it. It's in my page. That's the reason why I opened the Freestyle Crisis Center today, because I feel that this one is a crisis. Like, what's up? What are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do with all this coming up next? A freestyle celebration. We got, especially in Florida. Florida, I think we're done for now. This month, we're done. You know.
Well, it depends on if they allow us to do it or not.
Well,
And
hold on,
again,
give
if
me a
they
second because give me a second before. Let me read her. Nobody can get your medical records. Hold on. Nobody can get. Hold on. Can get your medical records. That's ridiculous.
right, that is ridiculous. But his cousin's running for the state attorney's office, and he mentioned that she has access to the medical records where I go to at Rush because she's on the board of directors. Anyway, I confronted him live, and he backpedaled and apologized. And that happens a lot. They talk a lot, keyboard gangsters,
Uh-huh.
and they say this, they say that. But when you catch them, whether it's where they're performing or backstage, you know, they very
That's why.
I
Yeah.
don't want to cuss,
Let
but
me. Yeah.
they
Let me read you. Riviera Joe. Not easy. That tough. That's why I knew it was it. What I guess. Well, I don't understand that. Okay, Maggie Labs. She says, who the p lies about cancer? What would seek gain people are stupid? You know what I'm saying? Like Maggie Labs. She's saying that who the p.
well well what they try to do is they try to say that don't support my events. I lie about this, I lie about that. But what they're doing is they're actually promoting it. This past week we had a great virtual show and we had a lot of support from all these haters were sharing the hell out of the flyer and it was great to see. Not you're working for me.
Yeah. Okay. See, so
But
D says, yeah, that's a violation. And then Gregory says, HIPAA law protects you.
hmm
So why? What say? So if HIPAA law and that's a violation, then you say because they have contacts.
that's what they had said. But again, I confronted them this past week. I went to where they were performing, or where they were DJing, and he basically said sorry. He was given
Okay.
misinformation. He was upset. He apologized, and he basically, when you're in their face, it's going to be a whole different story.
Right. Mr. Rudy Velasco says, can you please remove your mask? Mean there's no one around you.
Oh, I'm trying to promote though. Come
Yeah.
on, Rudy. If I'm a
Rudy,
promoter,
Rudy, this
if I'm
guy,
a promoter,
Rudy, this guy's a
then
promotional
I'm
monster right here. It's on
I'm
the
not
shirt.
gonna. I'll remove it though for a second.
Show him the shirt. This guy's promoting right here. Seek.
Right? If Bernardo wanted me on the show, and I'm like, okay, well, let me go make sure my shirt's clean, and let me go.
Okay, so Joseph Simeone says, I know a female that lied about it, but not our business to dig.
Right. There's a few people that have lied about it, where I suspect, and you hear stories all the time, but
People
they're
call the crisis line. The crisis line is open. I have it open, or comment. It doesn't matter. We're doing good. But if you want to call, if you want to come through, the line is open. I got you too. Go ahead.
I'm too boring. I'm too boring, Bernardo. They don't want to call in.
Oh, sometimes they do. Sometimes these people go crazy, man. Sometimes they want to talk. So other times, today they're commenting a lot. A lot of comments over here. Okay, Jose Quinones says, yeah, well, that's the one. A female. D says he has cancer. He needs a mask. Okay. Um,
But let's go back to the reason you asked me to be on the show. You wanted to know what
like,
my
wow, that's crazy. I guess I wouldn't lie about something like that. Of course not. Okay, see, go ahead.
so the reason you asked me to come on, and I had been telling you I'd come on, even though we haven't always been on the same page, and you've given me a lot of negative attention in the past, but I always told you I'd come on. So the reason that I'm on is to talk about the business of doing a show during coronavirus. And again, whatever show that's happening live, I don't think it should be stopped. I think it's up to the promoter to follow the rules and to make sure that they protect the fans and the artist and make sure social distancing is happening. And if it's not happening and people are touching each other too close, it's not the fans' fault because the fans are going to be excited. The promoter needs to put steps in place, which they may or may not have. I wasn't at that show, but they need to do extra steps instead of going live and trying to become freestyle famous. It's one thing for a DJ to become freestyle famous and pay for their likes and their views, um, but it's one thing to say, "Oh, look, I did a show," but they didn't protect the fans and they didn't protect the artist. And once again, I wasn't there at the show, so I don't know if that happened or not. But if I were to do one, then there would be a lot of steps in place to make sure that the fans and the artist are protected.
Yeah.
And talking about views, let me just throw this in as an extra dime. When Sal Abatello goes live on Wednesday, that's a great show. I think you guys should all watch it. He has great numbers. And it's funny that those are all organic numbers. Who else can go in their car? Not in their basement, not in a studio, not in the attic, and pull those numbers in a car. You can't. So when you see certain DJs that are trying to become freestyle famous by their numbers, all of a sudden that's the same three fans that they have posting it and supporting them.
Sig, let me ask you a question. Are you good with Sal? Are you in talking terms with Sal? You good with him?
Am I good with Sal?
Sal,
Yeah.
or
If I see him, I talk to him. Um, uh,
Sal?
when you say am I good with them? Are you talking about on a freestyle level, or what's your question on that one?
Yeah, on the freestyle level. Remember this. To me, for example, I'm constantly saying the content of this show is kind of strong, but it's just a show. I mean, I bring you in for questions and this and that because you got your content today is very important. But I'm making a show. You know, it's like the whole Shook Knight, that whole Shook Knight stuff is going the extra mile for that show because you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, yo, Shook Knight, that's sensational content.
I should have worn my fro for you.
Sensational content. I'm doing a show, and you know, and the idea is for people not to get it twisted. The content is strong. It's strong. Basically, what's strong about the content is yes or no. Sig, you want to do a show right now, and you say no, like right now, like this week. No, not this week. No, I wouldn't do it
I
to make a show not right
well,
now, like this week.
well, it would depend. Would I do it? Do I want to become? If I wanted to become freestyle famous
You do it.
and have, and then I would do it. But if I want to make money, then it has to be the right elements. But if you want to become freestyle famous and look like, oh, look at I'm the queen or I'm the king of promotions, no one can touch me. Look at what I'm doing. Look at me. Look at me. You don't have to always have the look at me attitude to make money. There's plenty of shows that I've been a part of or I've been responsible for where my logo is not on there and nobody knows it's my show. And
You
that's
should make
because
you should make for us over here in South Florida one outside in a park, like you know what I saw, for example, Castillo doing in his house, you know, like a private outside party because outside is good.
right, but there's no money to be made if it's limited because the artists have to be paid because they're not doing it for free. And I wouldn't expect an artist to perform virtually for free or to come on their live and pretend to do a show and that they just sing the hook. They deserve to be paid. It's their job. It's their craft. That's their job. So they should be paid for their work.
A
You
guy.
don't go to
Mhm.
you don't go to work and not get paid. You go to work to get paid. So that's their job.
Okay, so Joseph Quinones, he says, listening to him, he sounds like a real legit guy. Applaud. Okay. Um,
Thanks, Joseph.
yeah. Okay, so Sam Romanza says, when will we see a promoter step up and do a new school tour?
And when you say tour, we've done back in March when we did the show in Miramar. We had the next day was new school. It was all new school, and we had a couple of old school artists in place that were there. So when you say a new school tour, well, that's kind of hard to say. But we've done new school in Miami. Um, it didn't do well. Um, there's been some done in Chicago by a great promoter, and I'll give him a drop. Chuck does great shows, and he did New School with George Lamont, and that was a great show. I don't know his numbers or anything, but I'm not sure how well he did. But that's been done. He's done it as well. I did it in Miami, um, but I don't know when a tour will actually happen, especially with the coronavirus. With the virtual show that we did new school artists. We had Shy. Well, he's not really new school. You guys say he's new school, but he's been around. But Shy was there. We had Spanish Fly on there, but he's not new school either. But it's basically about the draw and if they can draw on there. So when we had the show in Miami, it was March 24th. We basically had every new school artist there, from Robert Barco to George Anthony. Shy was there. Everybody that don't get along now was there that day. So we've done it.
What? How do you see? Where do you see freestyle going? What, you know? What's your personal opinion? Because I know you're a numbers guy and all that, promotional. You know, but you know, you're money guy. You gotta, you know, that's what's gonna keep the genre alive. So how do you see? What do you see in the next 5 years for freestyle?
The next 5 years, depending on the coronavirus, really, I don't think we could be virtual forever. But as long as the new school people are still producing quality music and quality tracks, and
You
their
like?
support,
Are you? Do you like the new tracks? Are you digging them? Do you enjoy them?
sure. Some of them are all right.
Some of them. Give me
Some of
one.
them are all right.
Give me a couple of them that are, you know, all right. Because you know my big thing over here is new school. I'm a big big new school believer. I think we can go global with this new school if we,
Well,
tweak
that's a
a
whole
couple things.
that's a whole other topic about which new school artists or tracks that I like. I like Shy's new two new tracks, Forever, and then I always get the name wrong on the other one, the Within My Heart or With All My Heart.
With
I
all my
like
heart,
those two.
yeah, and
Um,
forever.
and Sammy's Own
Sammy Stone.
redid the. He's not new school though either. So a lot of these people you guys say are new school, but they're not really new school. George Anthony's not new school either. Some of his songs have been all right, but he's not new school. They've been around. So when you say new
You know,
school,
no, and
there's not
new,
really.
I mean, new school is not the artist. Is the sound, basically the sound. It's not old school. It's new. It's a new era. Some of
So
them are
then,
new. Some of them are new.
the new K7 song, is that new school?
The
Because he's
sound is
not new
new.
school.
The sound is new school. The,
So that is he. Is he new school?
I don't know.
So then, if everybody else is, then he's got to be
That's the
new
kind of
school
stuff
too.
you have to think about because you're the promoter guy. So now you're like, okay, how do I promote this one? How do I like new school, old school? What do I do?
Well, let's get off that
Okay.
topic and go
So,
back to where you got me because I got 6% left
okay,
on my
Willie
battery. So
Valentin
you had
has
you
started. Hold on, give me. It says Jose Quinones. Willie Valentin has started to do that. Sam getting most of the guys together, seeing them together. Like Willie Valentin, he's been like leading one of them leaders in New School, trying to get this, all these people together and stuff like that. So Sig has six more points in battery. So what are we gonna do with that time?
well when you ask me about Sal,
Sal.
do I get along with him? Do I hate him? No, Sal's a great businessman. He has his he has his Fever Records and his Fever Entertainment set up it, nicely.
Nice.
He has the structure set up like anybody would want. So if they want to follow a business model, or any new promoters or any new people want to follow a business model, then he's got it under control.
Have you ever hired like through Sal some artists?
Have I ever hired through Sal some artist? I have
How does
not.
that work? How does that work? Some artists are they exclusive with Sal Abatello? What? How does that? I don't even know how that works.
There's certain artists that are exclusive with him, like he's got a few that are exclusive. Um, um,
But
but
others,
when you say have I ever hired him, that's kind of a tricky question because we do sometimes we do things together and the public doesn't know, and it's we have a good relationship. I'll just say that.
you have a good relationship. Were you a part,
Yep.
for example, were you a part of the last virtual concert somehow? Were you in there somewhere helping out somehow?
Um, yes, I was a
You
part
were
of it.
part of it?
It was the broadcast was on I Love Freestyle Music Tours broadcasting room. Um, so I don't have to have my name on everything to make it my event or a partnership event.
Right.
But it was great to see all the support from everybody on the Fever side and some of the other people in Chicago that shared the flyer. Thank you for sharing it. We really appreciate it. And my name don't have to be on everything in order. I'm not trying to become freestyle famous. It all matters at the payout at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. You're trying to, you're a business guy. You're trying to make the business of freestyle work, and there's no other way to do it. But the movie, show me the money, because at the end of the night, you're the guy that has to say, did it work or it didn't work. You're that guy. While I'm like
Right.
celebrating, like, oh my god, you kicked that singing this one that. You're like, no, yeah, it could have been a great success for the people, but in the money part, it was a complete failure, and it's a very
Right.
important part.
One of the trademarks you'll see if it's one of a show that I'm a part of is if it's the Cover Girls, it's going to be Angel. If it's Diamond Girl, it's going to be John Menace. There's certain artists that we only book the originals, and it is what it is. TKA, um, K is original, so Tony's original and AB's original. That's TKA. So
Yeah, it sounds to me like we're gonna have another I want to have a, you know what? I want to be able to have a nice freestyle talk with you if you give me that opportunity for, another day and we have, a nice time with you so you can explain to us what you are saying at this particular moment. Where are we standing at when it comes to like, there's two groups and there's two singers and, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just give a quick example. There's an artist. I don't know her, but she sounds great. She just redid the Judy Torres track. And if I happen to just get disconnected with my battery, her name's Mia. She's from Florida. She just redid Judy Torres Come Into My Arms. She called it the redux or the remix, or she basically redid Come Into My Arms. She did it as her name. She didn't come out and say, I'm Judy Torres. She did it in her vocals. She didn't come out and sing over Judy Torres's vocals and pretend to be her. She went out on her own, redid the song, and used her own vocals and her own name. It gets tricky when you don't use your own name and you pretend to be that artist that you're not. Then it's like, why are you singing a song or pretending to sing a song on someone else's vocals? But that's a whole other topic too.
Yeah.
So the Mia did the song. She sang it. She used her own name, and she knows who she is. And if you haven't heard the track, you guys should go and sing it. I mean, go watch it. There's a good plug for Mia.
If we want to be vigilant to your, for your next upcoming concerts and stuff like that, we want to be able to monitor your shows. Where do we see it? Where
Well, you go on the I Love Freestyle Music Tour page, um, and you can see it there, or we'll share it. So if you see some of the events that were shared that doesn't have our logo on it, it doesn't have to
so
be.
your
But
movement is I Love Freestyle Tour. That's your movement.
music,
Music.
I Love Freestyle Music
Tour.
Tour.
And we see that on Facebook. If we go in there and just search, it'll come out. That's yours. And the wife. Talk to me a moment about the wife. Her collaboration in your movement.
No, she's the brains and I'm just the face.
She's the brain.
She's the brains and I'm the face.
Yeah. Well, say hello to the fam and enjoy your time in Miami. You going back for treatment soon?
I go every 3 weeks back to Chicago. So if anybody in Chicago needs to meet up, wants to meet up, has any problems, either I'll come to you or you can come to me.
Okay.
I'm usually in the little village area if you guys want to come to me. But just like last time I was there, I came to you. So if anybody else has any problems, I'll be there at the end of the month.
Shook.
If we want to meet.
Leave it alone, Shook. Shook night.
Well, it's better to deal with something in person than to talk about it online and have a keyboard war.
Yeah. But it's promotional. It's the music. It's the business of music, my bro.
It is, but when they get in your personal life and your medical,
let me ask you a question. What bothers you? What upsets you? Like with like people like this. What exactly is what you say? Damn, I feel uncomfortable.
Well, what upsets me about them is when they don't protect, when the fans and the artists are not protected. So when they only care about taking selfies on stage and they forget about the artist and they forget about the fans. We hired a promoter here in Miami and all he did was take pictures. Because I'm not really a promoter. I promote some of the shows, but I'm not the promoter. I hire the promoter usually.
See, let me ask you a question. So what, okay, for example, you know me, I'm super sensational. I think people should because I think I come across like a real clown. The majority of it is a real clown. Okay? So, like, what does it for you? Like, for example, what bugs you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what bugged you, for example, that person in Chicago that you literally went to that club and say, yo, what's up? I'm here. What, if we all know that this thing is, like I said, the content is kind of strong, but really everything is propaganda and everything is promotion. A lot of people want to be freestyle famous. And sometimes they choose you. Like you are one of them guys are super freestyle famous. And some people say, well, if I go and I hang on to Seek and I say a couple of things about Seek, that'll get me to the next level. So it's propaganda. But
it gets them more than to the next level. They get dealt with. Then they stop talking. But what gets me is when people are. What gets me is when you're in front of them and they don't repeat the same thing that they text you or they emailed you.
Because
But
it was propaganda. It wasn't really real. It was, so, like you said, behind the, like for example,
right,
if I was out there, if I went to New York and I see one of them clowns come through, I bring the cops. I really do. Like I don't.
right. That's why you don't come visit me in Miami, because I remember everything
No,
you
no,
said.
no. You should.
So
Come on, come on. Don't say. See,
I've been trying to get you to come to the beach,
no,
but
no,
you're not coming.
no. See, come
So
on.
the next time we interview, it's got to be face to face, Bernardo,
Well,
and then I'll do it.
well, you get funny with me. I call the 911 on you.
we know you got the St. Lucia police on speed
The
dial.
no, collaboration between the Port Lucie, the Naples. I don't even bring the Naples. They ain't got shit to do with it. Everybody to deal with you. See,
That's
a
funny.
pleasure, bro. And I love that you are friend of me. You like you're not like you come through. Like a lot of people over here, like, what's up? What's the problem? And I love that from you. Like, what's the problem? How may I help you? Like I call a bunch of people, but no one answers me. Like, man, why don't you answer, man? And that's what I love of you. Like, yo, what's up? What? Okay, what? I'm here. What's up?
All
What's
right,
the question?
but you should probably get to the bottom of whatever Eddie the Mouse
I
wrote.
will.
If they're getting sick and with coronavirus, then the promoter should contact everybody that was at that club and let them
Okay,
know.
hold on 1 second. The one and only, the great Lady Kathy. She says, "You good with us, Bernardo? You got my word,
she
Kathy."
she
Okay, wait.
she
I
calls the
gotta go see
shots.
you. No, I gotta go see you. This guy is not gonna touch me. All of us has approved the stamp approved that this man right here is not gonna put a finger on me.
We got your back,
Yeah,
Bernardo.
thank you, Seek, and I'm gonna. This is the very first program of this investigation because then again, the only how I go after a story is when people send me messages, and then I saw this video of Cynthia, and I'm like, okay, good, and then yeah, they're like people trying to tell me something. I'm like, oh,
But just make sure that your focus is on the right people, because don't it's not on Sal, it's not on Cynthia, it's the promoter of the event. It's their position, it's their job to make sure that the fans and the artists are protected. So make sure you're not going after Cynthia, because it's not
Sal,
her.
you're good. Cynthia, good. It's just the area. It's like a regional decision. It's a regional decision that had to be made. Okay, there we go. I think we lost C. All right, people. So, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this particular episode of the Freestyle Crisis Center. And remember, like I say all the time, the content of this particular program is kind of strong. Okay? It's strong. Yes, it's strong. But don't forget that this is for your entertainment. It's a show. It's a show. Like the show that you see on TV and them reality shows, it's a show. The whole entire thing, it's a show. Now, the content is kind of strong. Some people feel like passionate about our freestyle and they think all it needs is just one person to feel one way and the other person to feel another way about the same topic. And then we got ourselves a show because we got ourselves, controversy and different opinions. So, yeah, let's not get it twisted, bro. It's just a show. And thank you for watching, okay? And I'll see you soon in, my lives and all that stuff. Thank you so much.